So if I'll start with my disability, it all started when I was 11 days old. I had some accident basically. I got slipped from the hands of caretaker when I was just 11 days old, and I was rushed into the hospital as just to treat what happened. Basically, after 2 days, because the caretakers haven't told my parents what happened. So as soon as they came to know, it was a fracture in my right femur bone, and the doctor during the treatment tried to fix it up. They stretched my leg so much that at the age of maybe at around 13 days old, they stretched so much that my hip got dislocated. So my will is leading my life, I guess. 4 years back, I been met with a car accident where I, had a fractured in both my knees.
Welcome back, everyone, to another inspiring episode of Beyond Limit Stories. I am your host, Alma Chopra, and I'm thrilled to embark on yet another journey with you. Each month, we bring you stories of striking individuals who defy the odds and claim their victory despite hardships. Join us as we delve into a world where resilience and strength knows no bounds. Today's guest shares her story in which setbacks are only temporary hurdles to success, and she will show that. Opportunities come to those who don't back down but continue to pursue and persevere amidst tribulations. Somya Thakur is a representation in the world of fashion and advocacy. As a Miss Wheelchair World finalist representing India, Somya has overcome numerous mental and physical challenges with grace and determination. Somya, thank you for joining us and being so gracious to share your story with us today.
Thank you, Alma. Thank you. It is great to be here and part of such a good show.
Okay, so Somya, I'm going to start right into my questions. Can you share the story of your condition? How did your disability come about, and what's your experience in growing up with it?
Okay, so if I'll start with my disability, it all started when I was 11 days old. I had some accident basically. I got slipped from the hands of caretaker when I was just 11 days old, and I was rushed into the hospital as just to treat what happened. Basically, after 2 days, because the caretakers haven't told my parents what happened. So as soon as they came to know, it was a fracture in my right femur bone, and the doctor during the treatment tried to fix it up. They stretched my leg so much that at the age of maybe at around 13 days old, they stretched so much that my hip got dislocated. And from 13 days when I was that much old to around 3 years, due to doctor negligence or not getting the proper treatment, uh, lots of things just happened, and I got fractured around 3 times in the same area. Uh, and I was just on plaster from my neck to toe. And during that time, when the child develops their natural muscles, I couldn't develop that. As a result, I couldn't walk or stand, and due to sitting, got scoliosis. My back just turned. So yeah, but even like my parents tried to make me have a good treatment. Some of the doctor from PGI or AIMS just told that these kind of children don't live for longer. So they just gave me a time limit of 6 years that she would be living till maybe 6 years or maybe less than that. But my parents just gave me strength, especially my mother, and they were my backbone at that point of time. They made me to study well because doctor told that she won't be able to study. Just let her lie down on bed. Just don't send her to schools and everything. So I just grew up, and yes, it was quite difficult in the education sector and accepting in society, in the family sometimes. But yeah, that's how this happened. And basically, my muscles are weak. My disability hasn't been detected or diagnosed till now, and nor I wanted, because a doctor is very pessimistic in my case and they don't give me a hope. So I've been my hope myself, and I'm living in my late 20s till now. So my will is leading my life, I guess. 4 years back, I been met with a car accident where I had a fractured in both my knees. So it was again a difficult time, which increased my disability and complexed it. But yeah, again with the will and setback, I had a great comeback, as I say.
Wow. So, that's quite a story. Your story began with medical negligence, which posed numerous difficulties in your life, right? Just because you had a fractured femur, because of that, and because of medical negligence, you were put in a full body cast. So, like, how did you continue on your life being so optimistic and not saying, oh, look what the doctors did to me. Because of the doctors, I can't walk, or because of doctors, I can't do this, or because of doctors, I'm set back. But what, like, how did you remain positive? Like you said, your mom, was supportive. You were your own strength. Tell me a little bit about that.
Yes, I think that I was a very smiling child from the age of my childhood, I would say. My doctor, or just in my even the medical documents, they changed my name to Smiley, just because even if they would just put me in plaster, or they have given me a traction for around 6 months. Like I was just like a upside down, like a roasted chicken, just that my hip get into the place, but it couldn't. So I always used to smile, and so yeah, doctor used to see me smile, and even if they were putting me some injection, I used to smile and didn't feel anything. But with time, things get tough because uh, you you feel that okay, I'll be strong. Things would change, but it don't. And for you, you are very normal. You are very positive, smiling. But for the world, for the society, you're not that uh, normal. They treat you very like an alien. So yeah, these kind of things really haunt, and it don't into your personality hour. So I would say, as a very smiling kid, I turned into very uh, was very shy, not speaking too much in the school also, because in school also the kids used to laugh because they weren't given a proper uh, uh, teaching that how you should behave with the person with disability, even if he or she is sitting in the wheelchair. So that's fine. So I won't say that it was a fault of that my classmates, but I think how the society is built about how, a lot, not being lack of awareness, I would say. So I was very I would say mentally disturbed, also very depressed person. As I was just taking my education in my higher school also, and I just cut myself from the world to just get out. And because when I used to go out in the market with the family, people used to stare at me that in class 8 she's on wheelchair or something like that. These kind of things really made me very from extrovert to introvert. But I didn't had any hero honestly at that point of time, or Cinderella, who could just, okay, this is the example, that's how I need. So one day in my high school, I just said, this is not the thing, this is not my life. This was not who I am. And I need to change this. It's okay. With the education, also, you get to know that this is how the society has been conditioned. You need to change that negative perspective. So I changed my negative perspective. I changed my attitude towards it and made myself that yes, I'll try to be my hero and I lead by an example. Okay. And whatever I was just missing out in the education system, in my family, maybe in the society as well, I will tell people that disability is normal and how you should know, about the disability. And as a disabled person, we can do the things maybe differently, but we can do the things. So I changed the negative perspective, and I really like to, uh, wear good clothes, be good fitted clothes, and just go out. And when I used to go out wearing good clothes, people used to stare at me, and then I just changed my attitude. See, I must be looking good. That's fine. And eventually, it really happened like that. From sympathy, I think. Okay, so yeah, I changed my perspective. I used to go out wearing good clothes, and people used to, look back at me, and from sympathy, not from, they would come to me, not asking like what happened and how it happened, but they used to give me compliment, and everything would have changed because if you be positive, optimistic. So yes, and from then I think things have been changed, been helpful. I won't say that you always had to be positive. You always, obviously there has been low because of your health and lots of things, I would say. But it is how you come up again, and after your setback or maybe bad time, how you come up and make your attitude always positive. I think that's really counts.
So, Somya, um, you addressed two things that I want to just touch upon. One is you mentioned that because of society's, I guess how they viewed you, that led you to become more introverted and more shy. So, if there was sensitization to people who were different, do you think that would have changed the outcome, the way you experienced school?
Yes, absolutely, absolutely. I think there always a room. There is always a room for growing. And I still believe that there is some kind of, I wouldn't say trauma basically, but the experience, the bitter experience you always have in your life. But I feel if the society would have been bit different and more aware about the disability, my experience in the school would have been a much more different, and I would have been open what I was feeling towards, like, I could make friends because uh, I didn't have that much friend because at that point of age, your classmates just see the chair first.
Yeah.
They don't know who is Somya Thakur, and they don't try to build a connection or friendship with
All
you. They
right.
just see, so that kind of thing or sympathy, I didn't wanted that. But the whole of the thing would have been changed. I would have lots of good friends. I think more confidence from very early stage, and being extrovert is not something that you talk. It just really helps you to express yourself. So that would have really helped me to do that into my personality, would have been much more good from the very early time. And in the education also, I think I just took up the education whatever I was getting admitted, or maybe what I was just seeing in the internet, or I didn't had much of exposure because you don't have that peer group who would tell you what to do, what to not to do, or ask your teacher what is best and what is your interest. I was just doing what I was told, that you can do this, you can't do that, because I was very much interested in medical, but I couldn't take that because it was upstairs.
Okay.
So wasn't interested in non-med, but yeah, then I took humanity, that maybe it can open a lot of things. Then I went into computers and then MBA and all. So yeah, a lot of things I would, in many aspects, would have changed.
And the second thing that really struck a chord with me is you said, and when you were in school, you were introverted, you were shy, and then there was a point when you realized, no, this is not this is not me. So can you tell me about what made you so mindful that I have, change starts with me? Because that's what you did, right? You said, I'm going to change and then I'm going to start spreading awareness as an activist, which is what you do now. So can you tell me a little bit about how that change in your mindfulness, how that change occurred in you?
I think the inbuilt in me, that I just see the positive thing, being optimistic, and because of certain experience I changed myself, that I need help, I has to be very pleasing, and I was very depressed because of that, but that was really not me. Today also, like, the inbuilt nature I have, I always see the solution of the problem. I don't see the problem very big. Yes, I less analyze the problem, but I always go for the solution. Either this, that, whatever, everything have a solution for that. So I have that kind of insight, and in being, and doing an introspect and being attentive, I would say. I had a as a human, I'm very sensitive, empath person. So the experiences I had, I don't want the new generation who would be coming disabled, or they shouldn't, face that. And I think that is the only thing. And nowadays we really want people to be with that. Uh, First, it starts from ourselves only. So we really need to do the introspect and that insight, that what is going wrong, what is not happening up to the mark, and where I'm lacking, why I'm attracting negativeness, why everything is going wrong. So that perspective needs to be there, and then you can obviously change the things, put in effort, do the hard work, be determined about it.
So you were diagnosed with as a disabled person because you broke your femur, correct? So you don't really have a neurological condition or a heart condition that makes you unable to perform certain tasks. It was basically because you broke your femur, and because of that, you were subject to medical negligence, which put you in a wheelchair. Correct?
Yeah, but like, because I had my disability from a very early stage, it leads to make my health very complex, I would say, because of scoliosis. I'm getting pressure into my heart because my backbone is curving from like right to left. So, and I sometimes I have like breathlessness, or I can't speak for very long period of time continuously. These are small things which are, because when you get the disability or problem from very early stage, your I would say your physical activity is not there. So it affect your immunity, it affect your muscles.
Yeah.
So yeah, neurologically I don't have much, but yes, due to sitting like for very long, your nerves get little weak. So
Yeah, of
these
course
are,
you do.
yeah.
Somya, let me ask you a question. Um, do, some people are born with a disability. Some people acquire disability, right? Some people have have an accident such as yourself, and because of negligence, because sitting in a wheelchair, because of the side effects, you acquire the disability. So yes, that is true that you have a disability. But what percent? There's also a fact that you just stated that society also disabled you, right? Society can enable you, society can also disable you. And you just gave a great example of how society can disable us. So if a person has a disability, how much do you think society imposes upon that disability?
I think a lot more even if the person with disability is not feeling any different,
Hmm.
not feeling disabled, or different from others, people would make you feel very different.
Yeah, I
People would
agree.
make people would make you feel very aligned. The feeling of being included in every aspect, I would say, from your childhood, then education, then in the society, in the family function. It affect a lot of time, and I have a number of like I can tell you a number of experience that yes, they first they just make you disabled mentally,
Mhm.
by their gestures and how they speak. Okay, I'll tell you, uh, they don't speak to you directly. They
Right.
either they speak to their with your attendant, or with the family, what happened to her, what happened, and then you feel, that's, and they feel that even if your legs are not working, might be your mind is not working. They see, okay, you have this problem at your home. There has to be done a lot of things for her, and your life is very difficult, and this and that, and then you feel, see, I'm not feeling that much difficult. Yes, everybody's life is difficult, and everybody have their own challenges,
Mhm.
but after listening that, your family gets affected, and because your family gets affected, you get,
Right.
and how I told, like, I was when I wanted to have admission into certain college, I was in merit list, but I couldn't get the admission there because first it was not accessible. It doesn't have any ramp at that point of time, and secondly, when my mother was standing in the queue just to give that she's in the merit and we want to have her admitted here, so the teacher just said, they no, we can't take her, it is a big responsibility, this and that, and you don't take this decision. Let her just be in some other college which have ramp, or where the classes is being held downstairs. So after that, you feel that even if you are just being eligible to that, you're not getting. Okay, I understand about not having the building is not accessible, I understand, but the attitude they had. And then her father was in army, uh, told her that what you have done, and being as a teacher, your the future is in your hand, and what are you built it. And then she called my mother in the evening apologizing, and then I just took admission in other college till then. So these were the things which make you feel really, really uh, down, I would say, and very much different, even though if you are not feeling that. When I didn't have the powered wheelchair, my the person who would be helping me, they just run the wheelchair like anything, and they would just stand, like, even if I'm talking here, they would park my chair there.
Yes.
These are the etiquettes, or these are the certain things, I would say, things need
Yeah.
to be.
I think the behavior, the lack of attention that people have, really the lack of empathy and compassion, I think adds to how society further disables us.
Yes.
Yeah, so and I totally agree with everything that you said, those are great points in which how a person who has even 100% functioning brain and doesn't have the use of their legs, for example, how society can diminish the brain functioning to like 40 and 50 just based on their attitude, and that they don't allow options and they assume that we are incapable. So
Yes, incapable to the society, to the country, and not not being useful. And even if they are coming to ask you to what happened to you, and so it is always just the experiences, it's always you are reminded every time that something is wrong with you, even if they are concerned, and even if they are asking for good. Like, I remember somebody would just ask what happened to her legs, and there was a guy and he just touched my legs without taking permission. So sometimes it is also very uncomfortable at point of time. Even your parents would just say that they are just asking out of concern, but still, but there has to be some room to take permission, to not always ask, or you know just like.
so that brings me to fast forward a bit to your current one of your current careers, right? You were Miss World wheelchair finalist. Can you tell me a little bit about your experience there? Um, to become a to become partake in a pageant, to become a model, you have to be very confident, right? And already coming into it with society telling you you're this and you're that and you're incapable of this. Tell me a little bit about your experiences and how you came up on top.
Okay, so I started in 2018, I guess, with the Guinness World Record longest fashion show. Before that, I had completed my MBA, but I wasn't getting the job, so I was very much, depressed. Or so one of my mentors said me that, see, you had to try this. You have a good attitude, you have a good personality, and somehow I really wanted it. Just I wanted somebody to tell me this, that you should just go into the fashion or maybe the pageantry field. So I just started. Then there was no such opportunity, and there was a designer who worked for disability. So I just approached her, and after 9 months she approached me for the Guinness World Record show, and I was part of it. And when I rided the ramp, everyone one just hooted, everybody was cheering me, and not just, you could just sense that it is not out of sympathy, but yes. And then I just realized that yes, I deserve to be here, and this is the thing I really wanted to do. So from that I just started with being an inclusive fashion model. And there was less opportunity, I would say, but I did shoots for some brands and collaborated. And then I did a Miss Kozinur, Punjab, India, where everybody was able, and I was on wheelchair, just to introduce inclusivity, that women and the people should know that being on wheelchair, she could also be speak good, look good, and think good. So I was the second runner up there. After that, sorry.
Congratulations.
Thank you. So yeah, I was watching out for the opportunity, and for the platform where I could just make a difference. From my childhood, I just wanted to make a difference in the world. I didn't know how, but I just wanted to make a difference. So I wanted a platform. I was then I saw that there is a thing for Miss Future India, but for a very long time it hasn't happened. And in 2020 COVID happened, and also I had a car accident, so I lost all the hopes. So in 2021, after recovering from that, not after recovering, between that only, my mentor again called me that there is audition for Miss Wheelchair World, and you should participate. You should give audition. I said no, because I was very disheartened because of my accident, and I wasn't able to sit on the wheelchair even. So I lost all the hopes that I can be back in the modeling world. But she said you should give a chance. So I did, and they asked me about what work I have done in the area of fashion, in the area of disability. I was into Rotary Club. I was doing it the NGO thing. So yes, I was a semi-finalist in that, and finally the Mexico jury made me Miss Wheelchair World India, a finalist to represent India. So it was a great honor, I would say. I took my time to heal from my accident physically, mentally, because representing your country is a big thing and it takes a lot. So I worked it, and yes, I represent India. It was a great thing, and people out there was so good that you're coming from uh, around 1.3 billion population, and it's a great thing. And I introduced my culture, my heritage out there, what work I have done for disability, what vision I have, how our country is developing towards disability awareness and everything and lot of things. So it was a great experience, and yeah, I made it at top five finalist. Seeing India on stage at top five is a great feeling, I guess. And still, I'm holding the title and trying to do the work and the thing, the purpose I really believe in. I'm just focused into that and I'm just still working on to that.
So, as a Miss World finalist and being an inclusion inclusion activist and inclusion ambassador, how do you balance both things? So, when you say the things you want to say, when you give interviews like you're giving to me, or when you are on your social media, how are you mindful that, okay, as a model, as a Miss World finalist, you are a role model. Okay, right? So how are you mindful that, okay, I have to conduct myself in a certain way?
Okay, so I've been always been like that. I've never been acted. I speak like that only. I always have that tender side that I really wanted to, do something for the society if I'll be capable of. So, if you are into pageantry, I always say that it is not just about the how glamour you are, or it is not just about the fashion. It is the way how you feel about yourself. It is the way how you make others feel about themselves. It is the way how beautifully you can speak, think, and do things. So I just follow these things, and I think I don't think any like beauty have any checklist. Uh, but yes, I carry myself with dignity in terms of my disability, in terms of the position I have, and I have lot of respect. I know it come up with a great responsibility. So I try to follow those things which I really believe and do those things. Either it is doing being a disabled activist, or working as a HR profession in my company. And I think I have divided my roles. When I'm working as a HR, then I'm company person. When I'm as Somya Thakur, Miss Wheelchair World India, then I am a public figure who want to influence people nicely and positively, work for the society. And when I'm as a inclusive fashion model, then I try to bring inclusive fashion in society, being little glamorous, or being basically what I am.
That's quite a bit that you have to be mindful of, because you yourself are wearing, you just named 3 hats that you're wearing, which are all very important. But Somya, I want to ask you, in the fashion industry, so you are a Miss World wheelchair finalist. How do you think the representation of the differently abled has changed throughout the years?
I think it has been changed. People have become more open for this. I won't say very much, and we have lot of opportunity. But yes, as if I'll see, if I'll compare back in maybe 5 years back, there are lot of opportunities, and people know that uh, people with disability of any kind, people sitting on a wheelchair can do so much in fashion. They have been little more open, not that much, and I feel so good that I got many. messages, mail from the young generation being disabled and not being disabled as well, that they just message me or call me, they wanted to talk to me, that how we can just follow our passion. Or some people just ask me how to be into this industry, to be a model. And I feel so great that this opportunity I didn't know whom to contact. So I feel really blessed and honored that I can just help one life also. I feel very happy that I can just guide them what to do, what not to do. And there is a kind of career, I would say, maybe not proper career, but yeah, but everything just start from just an art piece. So yeah, some career is being started. People are getting into it, just like I think para sports. Earlier they many years back, not people were much aware of that. But now, see, we have got 29 medals and we have done so much good. So just like that only, I think I could influence many people in a very nice way, and they could just follow up their passion and can make a name in the fashion or pageantry field, I guess.
That's beautiful. So you said you want to be a role model and help people don't have the guidance like you didn't have. So you're a Bachelor of Sciences. How tell me about the journey from a person who is interested in sciences, right? You had an interest in medical in the beginning of your career, ended up in the sciences, but now you're in fashion. So tell me, like, was the mentor that you had, was she the turning point that switched you onto fashion? Who or what was that one thing that changed your mind from science to fashion?
Yeah, so definitely I'll say I'll give a credit to her also, because she been a good guide and she changed my life. But I definitely believe that I believe a person has certain thing inside them. They don't. We shouldn't make a stereotype or make a bracket that if a person have an interest in science, they can't do good in fashion. Or because I had a good interest in psychology and science, that I couldn't take or pursue that. But this thing also, being carrying yourself good or into the fashion, I had, but I didn't have that confidence within me, because of certain things, certain checklists that people had made that we really require for beauty or fashion, and I wasn't even qualified to being a normal person also. So I just, I didn't have that confidence, I would say. So I had that thing. I always had that interest when I see people, especially I would mention the Mirza, Shasmita San. I always had that interest, but I couldn't tell anybody, I couldn't say or speak to anybody. And when my mentor just told me, I needed that person, to validate that thing. So when she did, I was like, see, she also believed. And then I just carried my. So it is, I think, within us only. And uh, have figured out and I have given a name to this thing is like unaware ability, where I see that there is every person have the ability within them, which is they are not aware of it. Either it is a passion, and we really need to introspect and see in ourselves that what we are good at, what is that ability, and every person I think have that. And if they follow and if they work towards it, and be determined about it, I think sky is the limit. So they can have a success on that thing. So yeah.
So, do you think it was your mentor that gave you that confidence?
Yes, I think she have given me the validation because she is also a person with disability. So she that had a kind of insight, I would say, and my story and her story is kind of little bit, I would say, similar. So maybe it was a telepathy or something, but yes, the validation she have gave me about that, and she have guided me that. And the thing which I couldn't, spoke that I was very afraid that if I tell this thing, that can I do this thing, they would laugh at me. They think how fool I am, big dreams, how I am. So yeah.
So, when you mentioned uh you weren't even qualified sometimes as a normal person. What again, you think it was your mentor that gave you the validation, the confidence that say, yes, I'm normal, or no, I'm not normal, I'm abnormal, and I'm proud to be abnormal. You think it was your mentor? So that one person everyone should look out for to give, to help bring out what they have inside.
No, like I met her very late, I would say, maybe in my master's. But thing which I decided was in my high school when I was, very low, got very introvert and this thing. But again, if I say that if you believe, you had to help yourself only. When you are at your lowest, you have two choices: either to just give up to the situation or to follow your heart and make your mind strong that the path would be very difficult. It won't be a piece of cake or a cakewalk, but you had to be very determined. You had to be very that will to do that, to achieve that, and just focus on your I would say goal. That is very important. And when you are at your lowest, you had to be your cheerleader. You had to tell yourself. So I think it depends how you really think and how you really want to lead your life, basically. So either you just surrender to the experiences and believe that what people are saying is true. You're not capable enough, you are really different from others. There is no ramp, so you are not deserving to go there or admitted there, lots of things. Or you have a second option that you believe in yourself, you believe in your goals, and you decide what the color of your sky should be. So yeah.
So you mentioned your vision. So tell me about, as an inclusion activist and as a model yourself, tell me about the impact you want to make. What's your vision? Being the influencer that you are, what's your vision?
I think firstly and mostly normalizing the disability.
Yes.
Okay, and secondly, changing the negative perspective towards disability. This was the first, and uh, obviously, normalizing disability will follow.
Yeah.
So it is like there are a lot of things needs to be done, but if it starts from one thing now, I would say accessibility in infrastructure, accessibility in traveling, accessibility in work area. We have in India, we have done so much good in education system,
Mhm.
sports, right? We have done. So these some travel, infrastructure, work area, fashion, media, maybe the entertainment also. So these are the things which I'm really focused to just change it, just breaking the stereotypes that okay, if you're good, if you're disabled, you, even if you have an interest, uh, if you have an interest on education, you be a IAS person, or you do a government job, or this, even if the person is not that much interested also. So I think the he or she should have given that much liberty to choose what they really want to, despite of their disability, I guess. Okay, there is lot of opportunity in sports. You join sports, even if the person don't want to join the sports, or their health is not being ready to join sports or do that. So I think this is the area where I really wanted to change the things. And I, even if I try to create the content uh, which is voicing against ableism, uh, I'm doing this much, that many things, thinking that maybe somewhere or somewhat, a bunch of people get affected and things would change with that hope.
Mhm.
So, changing the negative perspective, then normalizing the disability, understanding the needs of disabled people, then only a company could accept people with disability to hire them.
Yeah.
See, if you understand that a disability needs are little different. See, the if the bench is like from here to here goes, and that the employee can work, then he's very much able. And see, so these small things which I'm really targeting into many different things.
Well, I wish the best to you. And I know people like you, myself, and there are countless others, us holding hands and us working together will definitely bring about a change. And I know your vision, my vision, all of our visions, which complement inclusivity, will be victorious at the end if we stay earnest with our attempts.
Yes, really hopeful. And I truly understand it is not an easy path the way I might be saying, or if, it is a difficult path. And speaking to you, I feel so much inspired that you are also a disabled activist doing such a great thing with like a like-minded. And yeah, even if we can make a good effect, influence even a one person, that would make definitely a good change.
Yeah, just it just starts with one person. Somya, one
Yes.
change make creates a domino effect. So
Yes.
Somya, thank you so much for being with me, sharing your story. I'm so happy to meet a like-minded person, a person with in a position to make changes, a position who's a role model herself, and being so mindful that the youth already comes to you for advice. Um, I'm very happy that you yourself are so confident in your abilities and maybe even your inabilities, and that you can give them good guidance, good advice. So I wish the best of luck to you, Somya, and thanks again for joining us here on Beyond Limit Stories.
Thank you so much. So let's join the hands, and please do take care of your health. And it's been lovely to have a conversation with you.
You too. Um,
Thank you.
Thanks, Somya. As we wrap up today's episode, I am so happy and grateful for the opportunity we had to share Somya's story with you. Her journey of resilience, strength, and unwavering commitment to breaking barriers serves as a profound reminder that challenges, whether physical or societal, are not obstacles to success, but merely serve as different paths to greatness. Thank you for joining me on this inspiring and empowering adventure. Remember, the journey towards inclusion and acceptance is continuous, and each of us holds the power to make the change in our own communities. Let Somya's story inspire you to face your own challenges with courage and push boundaries with grace. Until next time, keep living beyond limits.